What happens if you don't pay the exorcist on time? You get repossessed. What the fuck? What the fuck? Kind of dad joke is that? Guys, it's too late here. Way past my bedtime. The kids are trick-or-treating, and I'm hiding out in the dark. Literally hiding out in the dark. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween, y'all. Y'all thought I wasn't gonna come on here on Halloween. That being said, it's my this crop top, bro, is so bright. So bright. Which is why I'm wearing these super cool glasses I found for $1. $1 at the Salvation Army. I like this one. Why are graveyards so noisy? Because of all the coffin. So dumb, bro. I'm so dumb. Looking sly. I actually don't like how I look with glasses. I think I look crazy. Actually, what's his name? What's the YouTuber that always wears glasses? I look like his daughter now. Shoot. Shoot. Crime sleuthing. Shoot. Hey, Suds. Hey, Stephen. Hey, Andrea. Hey, Knife Time with Uncle Jack. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Queen of Zion. Hey, Hot Pie Gravy. Hot Pie Gravy. Pavarotti. Do I look like Pavarotti's daughter? Shoot. I think I do. I think I do. Great man. Great man. Great daughter. It's a joke, of course. Let's go, Nuggets. Let's go. Let's go. Looks like you're hiding from the paparazzi. I'm hiding from all these damn kids. That's what I'm doing. I'm hiding from all these damn kids asking for candy. Anyway, guys, it's very late for me. And here we are on Halloween. Wild Angels Bucket List Adventures. Hello, happy Halloween. Hey, Molly. Speaking of Molly, we're going to be talking about Molly. Hey, Robert. Hey, As One Divided We Fall. Hey, Steven. Ooh, why does Dracula hang around big cities? I don't know. Why? Why? Tell me. Tell me. Hey, Linda. Hey, Boo. Hey, gorgeous. Okay, I need the answer, Steven. I'm not going to be able to focus otherwise. What's the answer? Why does Dracula hang around big cities? That's where all his food is. You silly. I like it. That's a dad joke too. Y'all got dad jokes like I got dad jokes. Guys, welcome. I see there's enough people in here to get started. And hey, my pal Sal. Hey, Leah. Hey, Linda. Hey, everyone. Welcome. Suds, gotta watch your Blue Jays. I hope they win because that's your team, right? Let's talk about Molly Mcmichael, and I wanted to talk about uh Officer Payne, Lil Payne, right? Now, Molly Meth Michael, all her interviews. Okay, this woman has contradicted herself time and time and time again. Like, oh my goodness, I do look like a Pavarotti's daughter. Why do I look so damn blue? Uh, Molly Meth Michael. There's so much in the interviews, especially. That's funny, Mark. You're funny. He probably is trick or treating. That little creep, that little Payne, little creep. Uh, Molly Meth Michael continues to contradict herself. I just rewatched so many interviews, and everything that is coming out of her mouth is clashing. This is why we're still asking questions, bro. This is literally why we are still asking questions, right? Because how are you gonna say, bro, Molly, Meth, Michael, I'm in my jammies. Don't bully me, bro. I'm in my jammies, literally. Check it out. How are you gonna be out here, Molly, saying it was quiet? and it was dark and it was scary. And then she goes on to say, "Oh, it was so light. It was it was loud. There was so much light. What was it? Was it quiet and creepy and or was it well lit and bright?" And when we compare Molly Meth Michael's interviews, when she's getting interviewed by different people, depending on where in the interview you pay attention and who is interviewing her, she she's changing her answers constantly, and that is a red flag. Hello. Hello. Like, we know that Molly has talked about the sedan that she has seen supposedly multiple times, right? And she says that this was a tan sedan, a four-door tan sedan, right? Hey, Bonnie, thank you. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey, Leah. And when we go over the legal documents, she says in this tan sedan was a redhead. I don't know about y'all, but I can think of a couple redheads off the top of my mind. She calls it that this sedan was a family style car. And she says that the driver was in his early or late 20s, early 30s, and was spiky. Sounds like she caught a lot of details. That he's supposedly wearing a light colored business shirt. And she says that she is like 100% sure of that, that this man has blonde, light colored, spiky hair. Right? But Molly Meth, I thought you saw Bryan, ma'am. Ma'am, I thought you saw Bryan Koberger. I don't know about y'all, but Bryan doesn't have pokey hair. Bryan doesn't have strawberry blonde hair. What? I thought you saw Bryan. That is not a description that you or I would have given if we had seen Bryan Koberger. And not only that, but she also mentioned that when she saw this tan sedan with this light colored hair driver, that the light was on in the vehicle, meaning she probably got a very good glimpse, right? How is that Bryan Koberger? Oh wait. Oh wait, because she also mentioned that the driver had a beard. That's funny because in the interview, guess who has a beard? Guess who has a beard? Oh wow, Brett Payne has a beard. Brett Payne has a beard. We see in the interview Brett Payne asking Molly Meth Michael questions, and he's got like this fur. He's got this fuzz on his face, right? It's not like a full beard, but it's not fully shaven. It's kind of like in between. So we have the description of somebody with light colored hair, spiky hair, late 20s, early 30s. Light colored hair is not Bryan, ladies and gentlemen. And a beard. That's not Bryan. That's not Bryan Koberger. And then multiple times, what do we hear Molly Meth talking about? Hey, Shell Shell. Hey, Zyra. What do we hear her talking about? Oh, yeah, that she saw a female in the window. But then Molly said that when she first got to 1122 King Road, that she parked in the back. That's what she said. So that means she was looking at the backyard if you're parked in the back, right? You would be looking at the back of 1122 King Road. You would be looking at the sliding glass doors, which, by the way, what did she say about the sliding glass doors? That they were open, right? What did she mean? But they were open. Do you mean the sliding glass doors were wide open, Or do you mean that there were no curtains, no blinds? But I'm assuming if somebody is giving a detailed interview here in a quadruple homicide and they're saying that the sliding glass doors are open, then that means they are open wide, right? That's what I would take away from it. And not only that, but I find it interesting that when Detective Payne is asking her these questions, he doesn't actually ask her this question. It's like, hello, you're just letting her talk and you're not going over the information to verify what is being said. Anybody with a fucking brain cell, bro, would be like, okay, what do you mean by open, ma'am? What do you mean by open, Molly? Do you mean open like no curtain? Or do you mean open like fucking open, right? But no. So of course, then we should assume that it was wide open. I'm just saying. But no, she said multiple times that the sliding glass doors appeared open. And that's interesting because we've also heard other people mention that the doors were wide open, right? We have this person that was walking early morning by the neighborhood and happened to see the doors open, which goes with one of our very many theories regarding this crime, regarding that this was possibly all staged, um, and that there was a cleanup crew, and that's the only reason why the doors from the front and the back would be wide open, right? Hey, Linda, thank you guys. Thank you for the kind comment. Hey, Kenyan Tonka, Molly was the lookout for her boyfriend, in my opinion. Ooh. Also, when Molly dropped off the DoorDash order at around 4 a.m., does that mean that somebody had already gone inside 1122 King Road? Because again, if you're dropping off the DoorDash order and these sliding glass doors are wide open, wouldn't that mean that the assailants or somebody already entered the crime scene potentially and then left the doors open? Or maybe Maddie left them open. We know that she allegedly went out to take Murphy out there, right? And then supposedly Murphy was lost. So did Maddie leave them open? It would be a little bit weird, right? It's cold out. It's freezing out. Even if you're looking for a dog and he's lost or whatever, why would you leave the doors, sliding glass doors, wide open? We know that Bethany was out there. Did Bethany, was she asked, hey, did you close the glass door? Did you close the sliding glass door after you came back in? Also, if Molly's parked behind 1122 King Road, again, if she's looking at the back of 1122 King Road, that window that she's talking about where she supposedly saw the female on the top left, that would be Kaylee Gonsalvez's bedroom, right? But how would you see in that room when the curtains were closed? We have seen images of Kaylee's bedroom and that curtain is closed. Now, if we're just assuming that she's maybe confused or on rugs or whatever, and she's potentially describing the front of the house, then that would mean that she's referring to the bathroom, right? If you're at the front, parked at the front, you would be looking at the bathroom. If you are looking at the back, you would be looking into Kaylee's room. Which again, how are you looking in there because the curtains were closed? So where did you see this dark-haired female that you keep talking about, Molly? Was it from the front of the house or was it from the back of the house? Because yes, this matters. Of course this matters. Because why does that matter? Because that changes our location. That changes uh location inside of the where we are inside of the house, right? And Molly Meth Michael said that this dark haired female that she saw, no, she did not say that, Stephen. I don't think so. Um, she said that this dark haired female she saw was popping up and down constantly. But then when we listen to the interview, she says jumping. She says she's jumping. And then she's asked to describe what do you mean by jumping? She says, well, she was by the window, and then when she made eye contact, allegedly this female made eye contact with Molly, then she would duck down, right? And then she would get back up, make eye contact again with Molly, and continue to do that basically back and forth. So Molly was saying, well, that was really weird. Basically, it was very confusing because isn't this girl supposed to be coming down here to get her DoorDash order? And instead, she's like hiding upstairs. I'm also very curious to know how they found Xana. Did Xana have her hair up in a bun or a ponytail, or was it down? Because the dark haired female that Molly's describing, she said her hair was down, right? Because Molly says the hair was down, like straight down, flat down, right? So a lot of us have speculated in the early days when Molly mentioned she saw a dark haired female. Maybe it could be Xana. Maybe it could be Xana. But again, how Xana's hair was found, was it up? Was it in a bun? It's going to tell us potentially about who was in the house. Was it Xana? How was she wearing her hair when they finally found her? Molly then tells Brett Payne that there was all these parties going on at around the same time at the White Apartments, right? And we know that they refer to the White Apartments as um White Harlem, right? You're naked under those glasses? No, I am wearing makeup actually. It's good to wear glasses when you are about to go to bed and there's blue light. You don't want blue light in your eyeballs, right? It's bad for your circadian rhythm. Um, she's talking about the White Apartments, refers to them as White Harlem, and she says that those apartments scared her, that they scared her. Now, we've already done our research here, right? Regarding this, the White Apartments, the White Harlem. It's very concerning when we know the type of people that are allowed to live there because again, this these white apartments are considered student housing. But when we do our research, we find that there are so many people that are what? They are uh SAers. They've been in trouble for SAing people. And some of them have records of DV. And again, we can't say those things here because the platform, but you can always Google what SA or DV mean, right? Why would you have student housing and then have those types of very dangerous individuals be allowed to live right, basically right with the students? That seems very high risk, right? It doesn't sound like this is the type of building that does like background checks or anything. And even if they do these background checks, they still allow these people with horrible things, horrible histories, horrible crimes. They still live there. Just concerning. Again, this is students living there, right? Molly also said that she saw a couple walking towards the white apartments, right? She said that it was a female and a male, and that they were probably college age students or so. Hey, lucky duck. She says they're young and they're walking up the stairs to the white apartments when she was about to make another food delivery, right? And as I'm watching the interview, she's just yapping constantly uh with Payne. Like she's oversharing. Like it's excessive, right? And I agree with Elizabeth, right? Because Molly is like, yeah, really? You're scared? The woman who hangs out with drug dealers and meth heads was scared, and when I see Molly oversharing so much information with the cops, she also mentions that, oh, I didn't want the food to get cold. Um, but she says she didn't want the food to get cold, right? That's also something she mentions in the interview. But she'd been driving around the Pullman area, supposedly driving around for about 15 to 20 minutes. And it's like, just weird. Why are you talking about the food getting cold? You've been driving for 20 minutes, bro. Right? And just wait, I see the chat popping off about the tattoo. We're gonna get into that, right? I'm saving the best for last. Um, she's also talking about how she sees so much clothing on the street. And she's like, "Oh, I realized that this was part of student housing because there was underwear all over the street." Right? And I'm like, "Is that typical to have just all these panties laying on the street?" Did the detectives ever bother to pick those up, to take those into evidence? Did they ever bother to test them? Did they ever try to find out who those panties belong to? But I'm probably going to assume that they didn't, right? Again, this was botched from day one, so why would they bother? We know also that although there was all these panties outside on the floor, um, they never really considered him as part of the crime scene. They just left him there. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? She also talks really, in my opinion, creepy. It's creepy how she describes 1122 King Road, right? She says, "Oh, the house was so warm and so inviting." She says it's so warm, it's so inviting. There's all these stuffed animals and teddy bears by the windows, and the home is just so inviting. So inviting. But then she also says, "But I was so uncomfortable." That's what I'm talking about, the contradictions. She's saying she could see the house was inviting. There's all these teddy bears, stuffed animals by the windows, so inviting. All the lights are on. But she was just so uncomfortable. Those things are contradictions. How's it inviting, but you're also very uncomfortable? Is it inviting or is it uncomfortable? Now, I also think it's weird that she talks about she had some random guy waiting for her at the Jack in the Box parking lot. She's telling Payne that she worked for like 18 hours straight. And during these 18 hours, she had her dog with her. I'm like, that's weird because it's a dog. It's a dog. It's going to need to be relieved or eat and drink. But for 18 hours straight while you were doing all those deliveries? By the way, are you even allowed to have dogs while you're delivering food? Because I seems like there's like some health thing there, right? Like some health violation potentially. I don't know. Was the dog actually with Molly? But the man that was waiting for her in the Jack in the Box parking lot, why is he waiting for her in a parking lot? Is he a dealer? She was doing laps. She had a last Jack in the Box order to deliver, but then her friend was also waiting for her, right? She said that her friend left while she was looking for 1122 King Road. I mean, if he was supposedly waiting for you so that you could go back and eat with him or whatever, and then you get another delivery from a Jack in the Box, why wouldn't he just wait for you a little bit longer? It's just strange to me. Like he probably already knew you were still delivering food, and now he just left. It just sounds like to me, then these are my opinions, these are my theories, that she was delivering something else besides food, right? I want to know who that man was. I want to know who that man was. If you're doing shady shit, we know Mcmichael has a record of being shady and doing shady shit and being involved in criminal activity. And look, that's not to say that all people who have been involved in blah, 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 criminal activity can't change or turn their lives around. Whatever. That's not the fucking point. The point is that she's shady as fuck. She is involved, has been involved in criminal activity. She is meeting random men at fucking Jack in the Box parking lots. Supposedly, because she was gonna eat a burger with him, but it's like, yeah, you did actually eat a burger with him. You met him between your deliveries. And between your deliveries, what were you delivering? What were you delivering? Then she says she leaves the food at the front door of 1122 King Road, that it was a delivery with no contact. She says she put the food down and that she put it far enough away from the front door just in case the front door opened, it wouldn't hit the bag, right? What does that tell us? Okay, that tells us that whoever picked up the food actually had to open the door all the way, had to open the door fully, right? And probably take a couple steps outside of the home to be able to grab the bag of food, because she didn't place it like right there. Because again, it'd be hit, right? It would be hit by the door. She says she took a picture of it and then she left, but she never really tried to contact anybody while she was looking for the home. And what's very strange is that nobody tried to contact her either to see where their food was, right? It's just weird because Molly, throughout the interview, keeps saying it was so dark, it was so quiet. It reminds me of everybody else. That night was so quiet, very abnormal for that area. Everything was quiet. There was nothing going on. It was so spooky, so quiet, so dark. And then she says, "Oh, there was so much music. Oh my god, so much music. Oh my god, so much noise. So much noise. So much music." And then says it was so dark and so quiet. Was it music and loud or was it quiet? And why isn't Payne asking her about this shit? Like, bitch, you're literally lying to my face. Which one was it? Was it so much music, light, welcoming, inviting home, or was it dark, creepy? Dark, creepy, quiet. By the way, that tan sedan, first of all, she's not describing Brian Koberger. We already know that. He's not a light strawberry blonde. He's not a redhead with spiky hair and a beard, bro. That is not the Brian we know. What's very interesting is that for those of us who have been following this case for over 3 years now, we know that the patrol car was patrolling at the exact same time that Molly Mcmichael was delivering the food, which makes the patrol car, in my opinion, very suspicious. Very suspicious because you're creeping by a crime scene, as is Molly, around the same time, 4 a.m. And the patrol car looks an awful lot like a white Elantra. And we've yet to see a picture of Bryan's car, right? They keep showing us this blurry picture of a white vehicle. I'm like, how do we know that that is not the patrol car? What's interesting is that when we go through the other documents, what did the patrol car report? The patrol car reports seeing an SUV parked in the same exact location that Molly Mcmichael parked her car upon. So they're literally describing each other. Same time. She parked her vehicle, right? Because she was going to go deliver food. She got out of the vehicle, walked over, did her delivery, then came back, got back into her vehicle. They're literally describing each other. Patrol car is describing Molly. Molly is describing the patrol car, except what's missing. What is missing, guys? Bryan Kohberger's missing. Do we do we really think that Bryan Kohberger was getting ready to commit a quadruple homicide without ever being inside 1122 King Road, without having any experience of unaliving people before, without anything? And not only that, but he's literally supposed to be doing circles around the neighborhood in a fucking white car with the lights on. Yeah, he was just scouting the area right before he committed the Idaho 4 with all his interior lights on. Isn't that a little bit weird? Now, I wanted to talk about Brett Payne because I'm just curious. As I'm watching this interview, I'm looking at his arm sleeve tattoo. Does Brett Payne happen to drive a Harley? Why does that matter? Well, Bryan Kohberger had a guest at his apartment that his neighbor had seen, right? The neighbor had seen somebody with a tattoo who had a full arm sleeve tattoo. And we also have seen the documents of when Bryan Kohberger was being questioned in PA before he was arrested. And what did Bryan Kohberger say to Lil Payne? You look oddly familiar. You look oddly familiar, right? So when I went back to the document and I see that they also described him as light brown skin, Payne technically does not fit that, right? But I've seen pictures of Payne, like when he was in the military, it looks like he was deployed or something. He looks a little brown to me. He looks a little brown to me. Was he tan? Because the tattoo was on the left arm, which Payne has a tattoo on the left arm. But it could also be that maybe it was at night when the neighbor saw this man outside of Kohberger's house with the light brown skin and the tattoo, right? Because if you're looking at night, maybe he looked a little bit darker, or maybe it was summertime and he was tan. That's extremely possible, extremely plausible, right? I would personally love to see the picture of the food that she left at the front door, because typically when you order food from food delivery services, they take a picture. They take a picture to prove that they delivered it, right? Now we know that Molly said she didn't have any access to any of that information when she completes that order. But we do know that the companies do keep that information, meaning that if law enforcement had actually wanted to verify the statements that had been made by Molly Meth regarding how far she left the food from the um, entryway, they could have pulled them up if they had wanted to, right? And not only that, but they would also be able to tell if the DoorDasher paused the app, right? Now, I talked to some people that do DoorDash and things like that on the side, and they mentioned that the max time to pause the app is about 35 minutes or so before it kicks you out, right? And the one thing that does stay consistent is that everything seems that the DoorDasher was there from about 3:46 to 4:24. Give or take a few minutes. Give or take a few minutes. How many minutes is that? That's that's a long time, right? That's a long time. Is it weird? Do you guys think that the unmarked patrol officer would take note of a random SUV on the road? Is that weird? Because there were lots of cars on the road. Why is it that the unmarked patrol officer only mentions the SUV by the dumpster? Wouldn't his patrol report be separate from the murder investigation? So why would he point out the DoorDasher's car if at the time he was supposedly unaware whose car it was and why it was there? Does that make sense? Am I making sense? Like, why in the world did the unmarked patrol vehicle feel the need to point to Molly's SUV instead of so many other fucking vehicles that were in the area? Isn't that a little bit strange? I just know that it is for sure weird that the patrol car in Molly's route at the time she parks and goes back and forth between delivering the food and the moment the patrol car encounters Molly's SUV, it aligns perfectly to a perfect T. So just very strange, very strange. But after looking at this interview, what stands out the most to me is Brett Payne. I'm probably gonna have nightmares about his freaking arm sleeve tattoo because I just get the feeling, guys, and call it intuition, call it whatever you want. I just have a feeling that Brett Payne and Bryan Kohberger know each other from somewhere, right? Can anyone in the chat verify if Brett Payne drives a Harley? Does he drive a does he drive a Harley? Do you guys think it's possible that he could be the one? Could he be the one that was seen outside of Bryan Kohberger's apartment by Bryan Kohberger's neighbor? And if so, yikes. Yes, the one that was talking to Bryan on the stairs, right? And I'm totally with you, Lynn, right? When everything becomes more confusing after 3 years, even though we have everyday documents that are being released and things just get worse and more confusing instead of things becoming more clear, things making sense. Uh, right? Bryan knows Kabaka and Brent, and Kabaka are both in the same military unit, I believe. No, not really. Um, because you can be in a similar branch or unit, but not be in there at the same time, right? Like when I was in, we had like a code or a name, and then there's several classes. So even years later, somebody can be in that same unit per se. So not necessarily. So that hasn't actually been proven that Brent and Kopaka were in the exact same military unit, right? Like that they served together at the same time, right? Because I could have been in an 8404 or an 8506 unit while I was in the Navy, and then somebody else can come through and be in that same unit 6, 12, 16, 20 years later, right? I'm just curious, is it possible that that person that was seen outside of Brian's apartment talking to Bryan, could that be Payne? Had a sleeve tattoo and facial hair like Payne, right? And that's thank you, Abby, right? They were not in at the same time. But a lot of people don't understand that. They've never been in the military. So they assume like, oh, the same unit, that means that they have some backstory. Like not really, right? Just because you served in the same airborne division doesn't mean you were in there at the same time. That has no correlation. It's like my brother and I, we could have been in the same branch, but I joined 10 years later. So um I just have a feeling, a gut feeling, and this is I have no way to verify that, but I have a gut feeling that after seeing this freaking tattoo on Brett Payne's arm sleeve, maybe he is the one that was talking to Brian Koberger that his neighbor had seen, right? Had a full arm sleeve tattoo. And yes, had been described to have light brown skin, but it's hard to tell if um it's hard to tell if it's at night. And I don't think it was Demetrius. Demetrius doesn't seem to be he doesn't look like the type to drive Harley. Payne looks like the type to drive Harley. But I just have a feeling that there is a connection between Brett Payne and Brian Koberger. And to top it off, not now we know that they both have tattoos, right? Can we verify? Does he drive a Harley? But also Brian had said back in PA, you look oddly familiar. You look oddly familiar. I don't think Brett Payne is a white guy, even with a tan. What does that mean? Because I've seen pictures where he was deployed and he looks pretty tan to me. Like, I can't even get that tan, and I'm half Hispanic, right? There's a picture where he's wearing his green camis, and he looks tan to me. Again, we are all different colors, but to me, that is a tan white man because I can't even get that dark, even as a Hispanic, right? Um, Pretty sure the guy with the white sleeve tattoo is Christian Martinez. He was also subpoenaed by the defense. Was Christian Martinez, does he drive a Harley? And why did Brian tell Payne back in PA that he looked oddly familiar? Right? Either way, guys, just wanted to come in here and spook you with my spooky glasses. It's actually because it's very dark in here and my laptop is very blue. You never want to expose yourself to bright blue lights at night. It's not good for your circadian rhythm, babe. It's not good for you. Thank you guys for joining me in today's live. Happy Halloween. Let me know what you thought about Molly's weird ass interview. Continues to contradict yourself. If you think it's weird that she continuously contradicts herself, saying the house was inviting, not inviting, warm, loud, quiet, dead, uninviting, uh, please vote. Don't vote in the comment don't vote in the top chat. Vote once the live stream is over, if you can, please, in the comment section. Leave a one if you think that Molly is weird as hell. Leave a one if you think she's contradicting herself, and also let me know your thoughts regarding Brett Payne, because now I'm looking at his tattoo, full sleeve. Is it possible that he's the one that Bryan was talking to outside of his home, that the neighbor saw Bryan talking to, and that Bryan then said to Payne, "You look oddly familiar back in PA, right?" So thank you guys for joining me in today's live. Have a wonderful night. Happy Halloween. Stay safe. Don't let the kukuis, don't let the monsters get you. Uh, they out there. They out there. Thank you guys. Have a good night. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye, Yellow. Wicka wicka bye. Bye, wicka wicka bye, Jules. Jules says it takes more than the sunglasses to scare me. Boo! You scared now? Aw, best to the city of Chicago. Y'all are so sweet. I have the best people here. You guys have a wonderful night. Take care now. Mwah. Happy